Right, whilst I have no separation from the cab to the living space, it is a perfect opportunity for me to take down this, the dreaded headliner, which apparently is a nightmare to do. But it just means that I can get some insulation in above, which is going to obviously help the thermal efficiency of the van, and it will also help a bit of a soundproofing, mainly from the sound leaving the vehicle rather than sound coming in. I've decided to fit a shelf somewhere around there, right over this cab area, which is going to give me more storage. And that will be accessible through two little doors somewhere around here. And because I'll be sort of shoving in things like jackets and bedding, there'll be no airflow in this. And currently, without the insulation, there is more chance that condensing water will build up in these sorts of areas, causing mould. So this is why insulating it is going to be a very important thing for me. So I'm going to take this down, get some insulation in, and then I'm going to fathom out how I'm going to hang this shelf. These sun visor clips are an absolute pig, but as you can see, I've got it off, and that did take some doing. I started off with a plethora of different screwdrivers, different sort of size ends and what have you, and just trying to sort of jam them in and prise it apart. That did not work. It was like trying to sort of pick a lock that was unpickable. So then I moved on, and basically, if you can see there, I've got two jigsaw blades, and I tried to sort of put the jigsaw blades in next to each other and prise it apart that way, because they're the perfect sort of size platform, the plate on the end, but that did not work. So then I ended up welding them to an old set of pliers to make my own tool, so I could actually open it up that way, but then straight away it snapped. So I then moved on to the most simple way of doing it, and that was using just a chisel, which is a very sort of small-ended chisel, because it's got a really nice wedge on it, and that is what you need. And on this, I got the other side, I got a screwdriver, which is a fatter one. I just had to get the grinder and just shape it a little bit so it fit in all. So those two together, wedged in, literally just popped out. So let's go do the other one now. Simple one, you know how. Firstly, we just need to remove this here, and I just gently put a screwdriver under it and put a bit of pressure on, and it popped off. So hopefully I haven't actually broken anything with that. And it's got a little plastic clip here, which is meant to attach with like a thing, but obviously this one's probably been off before, so that's why it's not got a clip on it. But anyway, that is off. As you can see, it's just got these little clips all the way around. And now I'm going to use one of these just to undo this. That is just one little bolt thing there. And then the dreaded clips, which are up in them two holes there. I have the magic tools, and of these two, the best one is the chisel, and that is because it's got a sharper edge, so it fits between the two bits of metal easier, and obviously it quite quickly up the inclined plane pushes up and wedges it apart, whereas this one is a little bit sort of stubbier and just struggles, but together they work in partnership perfectly well. So let's pop that one in there. And like a surgeon, you'll sort of feel when they're in place, a little bit of pressure apart, just put my fingers between, and then if I grab this, hopefully, pop, there we go. So that is one done. Now the easiest one to do first, I found, is the one nearest the centre of the vehicle. The one on the outside, if you try that, you don't get enough leverage, whereas this actually helps with that. So hopefully now, we'll just get these in. So a little bit of pressure apart. Oof. There we go. Simple, eh? When you got the right tools. onto the side handles, and with a screwdriver I'm just going to flip off that cover, and then I am going to take out the bolt. There we go. So that is just a bolt there, which is obviously the main sort of structural hold, and inside here there is a metal little protective plate there. I'm just going to take that off and put that aside. Oh, on a magnet, just so I don't lose it. I'll also put that bolt in there as well. So that is this one out. The next one is a little more awkward. Again, I'm just going to flip off the sort of cap, and this one is like it comes out all as in a straight unit outwards, so it's clipped in, not very strongly like. And then underneath we've got this really annoying clip again, which is very similar to the one before. So this time I'm going to use a slightly smaller screwdriver, and I'll wedge that underneath there, so that means I can lever that down to open up the clip on one side. And on the other side, again, I'm just going to use my absolute brilliant tool, which is my chisel. So that hopefully will just fit in the top one. And then once I've got them both in, prise apart, boom. And I'm doing this one-handed, so it just shows you that isn't too bad to do. And this clip itself, as you can see, it looks like something off Star Wars. Next up, we'll take off that cover plate there, and I'm just going to use my cheap, nasty screwdriver for that, which is doing a very good job. And once that's off, it reveals a little nut there to undo. So again, I'm just going to use this, which you can't see, to undo it. The longest one ever, and just bring that one out. So again, that goes in my left pocket. Oh, we've got a little metal cover here as well, so I'll take that out. Again, I just don't want that to drop off, so I'm just going to put that in there as well. So now, what else we've got to do? We're into this central console, so we need to start undoing the bits in here. This big back piece here I've had off before to fit my dash cam, which runs through it in two places. So first of all, let's unclip my dash cam to make sure that it's not gonna damage this in any way. In fact, I'll just slide that dash cam off and out of the way, so then it's safe. And then, as I remember, this just sort of gently comes off. I say gently. That wasn't really good, was it? Hopefully my dash cam's alright. So let's pop that down there. And under that there is nothing to come off, but as you can see we are getting rather wangy. So there must be another couple of clips in here, which means that panel might come off, but obviously all that needs to come off somehow. I just don't know how to do it. Let's work it out. The next bit is this, which just clips out, and it's on two runners, so it actually slides out this way, and that can be done one-handed and left-handed. And then now everything's loose apart from something in this middle, so let's fathom it out. Oh yeah, maybe it's that. We've got two little screws to undo there, and I think that might be all we need to do. Let me find my tool. I can't find my tool. Where is it? It can't have gone far. I'm only in a little tiny space. Well, you're absolutely kidding me. Ouch. What the hell have I just done? I've literally just had it in my hand like 20 seconds ago. he is. Idiot. It's on the table behind me. Right, so I'm going to just undo one of these and see what happens. Oh. Because potentially there's going to be some wires connected to some of this. Because obviously there's power to it for the SOS button and all that rubbish. And what I don't want to do is it all just suddenly drop down and then pull the wires off, break them in some way. Let's just get that last bit out by hand so I don't drop it. And that is going to go in the central one. Yep, nearly there. Get in there. So it's just hopefully this last one, and then a couple of wires to unclip, I guess. Tell you what, it's not easy one-handed. Let me put my finger on the end of it from that hand. Oh, I can't do it. I'm trying to sort of do it in more realistic time, just so you understand how long it takes to do. There we go. So I've just got my hand holding this because let's put my shoulder under it. Whoa. Oh, scary stuff. I need you to just sit somewhere. Sit there and watch. There you go. Right, that is everything out, but we do have some cables attached here. Let's just work out what's going where. Oh, that's a clip. I can get rid of that one. That cable is one I've put there. So now, oh, there's just one more. Two more to do. I need some pliers. Please have some. Whoa. Okay, make sure that it's still bolted up when you're trying to take this off. Oh, oh dear, just give us a minute, right? I've got a bolt half in above, so at least it's semi-secure now. I'm just trying to jemmy this off now. It does seem to be coming. I don't want to go too forceful with it, even though this is unclipping everywhere, but I just don't want to break any of the clips. And to me, something's not right. I think that panel needs to come off. Although that is not going to come off, that is just solid in there. I love trying to work stuff out. I have never done anything like this before. It's just a case of a nice bit of patience and occasional colourful language just to help you skip along the way. Yep, something's not right there. Oh, I wonder if that comes out. Let's get something a bit sharper in there. Oh, interesting. Okay. Ah, there we go. We've got two nuts to do there. I'll do it. I can't see. You're in the way. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I just need a smaller Torx bit, which I have got somewhere. Just here. Right, so I think this should be right size. Yeah, that's one. It's just a little screw, this one. So that is 2 of those out into my central box. Hopefully this will just pop out somehow now. Make it up as you go along, Al. There we go. And that is the wire that I need to unclip, I think. One. That's not coming out there, not a chance. I'm just trying my best. That's all I can do in it. I'm just trying my best. That was the biggest pig thus far, and it's only because I don't know what I'm doing, and I was like a monkey trying to open a coconut for the first time. But now I've worked out how to do it, it's actually fairly straightforward to do. I took the whole lot down to look from above just so I could work out how the clips worked, and it just meant that I realised it was just a bit of brute force in a perfectly downward direction that would bring that out. So as you can see, we've got clips all the way around the outside, and those come out fairly easily, but it's these 2 clips here which I'm talking about, and that's the male connector which fits into that female port and that female port. So all it needed to do was drop straight down. So now I've done that, I just need to disconnect all these cables, which is a bit of a pain because we've just got one loom coming in here, and it's a shame that loom doesn't have a connector, because then you could quite easily just unclip that and then the whole lot would just come away. As you can see, this also is sort of hanging, so I can actually unclip those as and when I am ready to. And then the lot can come down finally. We have 4 wiring looms to undo, starting with this yellow one. All I did is just put a blade down between the yellow and the black casing just to release that little lug there, and then that's slid out. This one was very similar, just put a knife blade between the black casing on the outside and the little metal lug. You see that? And then the blue one was the easiest because that's from that one underneath, that just unclipped very easily. And then this one here, the final one, requires 2 hands for one. But basically you put your nail up the back of it to release it. So I'm going to see if I can do it one-handed. I can't do it one-handed, can I? Need to grip it there with that hand. No. I can't do this. Oh, I've just done it. There we go. So this should now drop out. I just had to pull that out with a bit of jiggery pokery from that hole there, so that will slot back in. So now we'll just unclip this so that drops away, and then the wire can now feed through that, and this can hopefully drop down once I have removed my little bolt that I added there. Just undo that last bolt, and now this should just drop. Pull the cables through. And we're out! Released! Released! Right, now it's a case of trying to work out how this is clipped on. It seems pretty bloody solid. That's a pain, isn't it? Obviously we've got attached in either, whatever they're called, metal plinthy thing, but we'll just have to work this out next. And first thing, I'm going to wash my hands, make sure they're super clean, because I don't want to be handling this and marking it, because it's a nightmare to clean. Yeah! There are 4 of these clips along the top edge of this headliner, and all I've done is just press with a screwdriver just to release the tension there. So I've got 1 more to go. All I've done is just pull this out just so it's come off this pillar here. There are two at the front, one I've just pulled off, and then this one, so I'm just going to drop a little pry tool there, and that has released that. That looks like that. So now I'm hoping I can sort of pull the whole lot out, because what I don't really want to do is start taking the pillar sections off down there. I don't know what they're called. I just want to slot back into it, so I'm hoping it'll just come this way. That's one side. Haha, yes! Oh, I've got too much stuff going on here. Oh, still connected there. Right, we're out. We're out. So trying not to damage it. If you overbend these, they do make a right mess. You can see there I've just got this sort of cracking looking thing going on. And that sometimes is there forever. Yeah, we've done it! We've done it. Oh, we've got cables all over the place. Yes, I'm well happy with that. Even though it took me about 2.5 hours and it was rather awkward at times. And because of that, I'll probably give it a pig rating of 7 out of 10. But if I was to go do this on somebody else's van, now that I'm an expert at removing this headliner, I reckon I could do it in half an hour and it would be a pig rating of maybe only 3. The problem is now it's opened up more jobs for me to do. So let's have a quick look. Starting with, I think I'm going to add some extra sound deadening panels. We've got a couple either side there, but it is still pretty tinny sounding. And then I will layer up some more insulation just to make sure that we are covering all these voids. In fact, I'll probably just fully fill that as well, just so we've got less sort of air circulating. I can also do a bit of wire management, because these are just wanging about and potentially just vibrating on top of the headliner, so hopefully I can get those pinned back or something out of the way. Well, there we go, one headliner removed, and now I have to crack on and get the rest of the jobs done. Let's do it. Oh, that's looking good, isn't it? Nice solid layer of insulation. I did it in 2 bits because you never did it in 1. So onto this one now. There we go. A very accurately fit layer of the foam back foil. To the point, I've actually infilled all the way down these side pockets and right down the front there. So that is an awesome layer of insulation, but it's not enough. And I was thinking about adding some of this, which is the recycled bottle plastic, but it's fibrous and the fibers do sort of come off, and because it's in a bit of a void where potentially these fibers are going to be sort of blowing around and might then enter the cab, I don't want that, because that means that I might be breathing them in or getting them in my food, and eating the microplastics. So instead I've gone with a way better insulation, which is the Space Quilt. Super Quilt is absolutely awesome. It's got the best R value going for the space required, and the whole van is going to get lined out in this stuff. So let's cut a piece and hopefully get it fit nicely in that cab. This stuff is awesome. We've got multiple layers of foil, foam and fluff, which combined together just make an absolutely brilliant insulation, and I personally don't think you can get better for a van. It does compress down where needed, so if you do need to sort of stitch through it and put maybe a batten over the top, you can do that, but where it's not stitched together, it just lofts to sort of 40-50 mil and traps all that air, and it honestly, it couldn't be any better. The only problem is it does take a bit of messing about getting some of this foil tape and just edging it all in it, just so it sort of keeps it all together. We've got one sewn edge down the full length either side, but where you cut it, you do need to spend a bit of time just gathering that together and sticking it up. I'm just going to put half on this back side. Just done about a ½ metre, maybe 700 mil length of tape, and once it's stuck to the back, I'm just going to carefully bend it over just to gather all those layers together. There we go, and that just seals the edge. I have now a full panel ready to stick up, and when I say stick, I mean stick. I'm going to use some spray contact adhesive just on the face of that first, and then on the back of this, and I'm going to stick it up. All I've done is though is just split the middle of this panel just so that it will just part its legs around that central bit there. And once that's up, might just have a little bit of patch on either side, and then we can pretty much put the headliner back. So let's wrestle this in place. Just held my breath for all that. Let's just let that blow through. In fact, what I'll do is I'll open a door. But here we go. Just starting on that straight edge against that, and then now we'll sort of keep pushing and then tuck it in that metalwork at the bottom. Done. That is brilliant. I've just got a bit to patch in both sides now, so I filled those voids, and now I'm going to seal it all in with this. There we go, that's pretty much perfect. It's like wrestling an oiled snake. I am well happy with that. It took some fettling to get in, but now it's in. It's just tightened everything up because the insulation is just sort of pressing on top of this. And before, I used to have like a really awkward looking shadow gap there, and that is completely tight and in place, as was the same at this side. So honestly, that has made it even better. So now it's just a case of putting all this gubbins back into it all, plugging it all back in, starting the engine, making sure that there are no warning lights coming up on the dash, and that is us done. Well happy. I've got that temporary holding clip there. I just need to make sure all my wires are in the right position. Otherwise I'll be messing about trying to feed them round everything afterwards. Right, let's reverse the bastard thing. Clippity clip. And now, you can't even see, can you? Just got to put this one screw back in. Nice and tight. Clips are both in. Just need to put on this cover plate, which should just clip on quite easily. Oh. That was easy. On to next. Something I've just noticed which might come in really handy later on is the fact that this panel here, which I was trying to flick out forwards, actually is clipped on all the way around at the back, so it does flip out backwards. Now that to me is the perfect panel to put like loads of switches in. So if I had this up here in situ and I'm sat in my driver's seat, I can see that perfectly, so I could have a load of external lights, you know, blasting out forwards, something like that, just to quickly access. So this might come off again if I can find the right switch panel to fit in that space. Beautiful. Let's reconnect this now. That's a simple one, and so is this. Click, click, click. So just feed that wire back through all a bit. The last two screws and we're done. But I've got 3 screws here. That's a bit scary. I think I just remember actually there might be one to go in first. There is. That was lucky, wasn't it? Find it all. There's no worse than getting to the end of a project and having stuff left over that you don't know where it's meant to go. But as long as it works, that's the main thing. I've chucked this back in very quickly. Now I know what I'm doing and where everything goes. It's actually very straightforward. Screen to go over the top. Haha, yes. So I need to now slot this chunky thing in. This is fairly straightforward to do. Let's bring you around here so you can see us. You can't balance there, can you? No chance. Just fits in 2 little slot rails and then should go that way. It's definitely tightened it all up, just having that little bit of insulation that's just putting a little bit of pressure on it all, which is better. That goes that way. Clickety click. In we go. So last thing is just sorting out that last piece which goes up there. And I obviously have to make sure that I get everything wired up again for my lovely VIOFO dash cam. The last push to the end. Just need to make sure my cables are in the right place. Come on. I seem to remember this being a pain last time. Oh, there we go. In the wrong place, that's all. Right. Clip this back in, and what a day that has been. Very happy though. It's just one of them crappy jobs that you don't really want to do, but it's such worth the effort. Clip one in. Oh, I can't do that one. Clip the other in. And that is it. I have completed it. Fully insulated, everything back, rock solid. And now all I need to think about is potentially putting some shelf here, which I'm going to attach through the bolt of that. So I just need to make some sort of, I don't know, something that sits up there with a bit of a lip on it, just so it'll take a bit of plyboard and that will support it. So there we go. That is me taking down a headliner, insulating it, smiling along the way, and definitely feeling good for doing it. So make sure you give the video one of those big fat thumbs up, and we will see you on the next one. Take care.